What's going on, podcasters and YouTubers? This is Hav here, one of your hosts from the Real Fan Review. Today with me, we got our man in the chair, Al.
How's it going, everybody?
Yes, sir, man. Just you, me today, Al. No Brandon, no Signs tonight, man. They're both busy with work. Okay. But that's okay. We'll hold them down. We'll hold them down. Man.
You got it. We got this.
Yeah, man. And then listen, man, tonight we're going to talk about three things. Keep it real simple podcast today, but it's going to give us a lot to talk about. Is we have AMC charging a little bit more for the Batman, which could be a preview of them charging more money for the bigger blockbuster movies. So that's a conversation in itself. And then we're going to talk about two movies we got to watch this past weekend, which was Turning Red by Pixar on Disney Plus, and also The Adam Project that was on Netflix. Both movies, I think, something to talk about on there then. So let's get right into this AMC thing, because there's something that came out actually last week that we didn't get a chance to talk about when we talked about the Batman, because we talked so long about it. But I think it has such ramifications, and it's a sneak look into what they're thinking out there for AMC. And this is something that I think Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, stuff that they've talked about in the past. I even think, who's the guy Ron Howard is the one who did the movie with Tom Hanks? Yeah, right? I think Ron Howard also said something about this, which is basically that because it seems like movies are generating more money for these big blockbuster movies, the Marvel movies, the comic book movies, the action movies, the Fast and Furious type of movies. And no one's really paying a lot of attention to those big Oscar winning movies, like, you know, Pride and Prejudice or something like crazy, you know.
Actually, a West Side Story, I don't think, you know, as great of a movie as I heard it is, I don't think it did well when it was in the theaters.
No, and a lot of those movies don't tend to make $100 million, right? They're not getting a lot of people to go see them, even though they're great movies, right? There's movies that we've seen in Netflix, The Trial of Chicago 7. I think had they put that in the theaters, it would have made some money, but I don't think it would have made Marvel money. So with that said, you know, these Marvel movies, when they come out, they're almost guaranteed to make $1 billion when they're in the theaters combined, you know, with the world gross and everything like that. And that's what really makes these movie theaters stay in business. It's the popcorn sales, the soda sales, the candy sales. Those things is what keeps everything kind of going. And look what happened with Spider-Man No Way Home. And now what's going on with the Batman. $100 million of the first week, $66 million the next week. So it's like, these are the movies that are bringing in the money. So what's happening is I think AMC, they charge $1.50 extra for the Batman. And Al, I'm telling you, brother, I'm worried. Even though we have the AMC, the A-list status thing where we can see 3 movies a week, but for the regular moviegoers, where the movie ticket prices are already like what, $18.50 per ticket now? Yeah, right. I think the fear is they're going to start charging like a premium for Doctor Strange or say Avengers 5 when it does come out, and make this like theater experience almost, where you would have to probably pay more for a center row seat than you would pay for a normal seat. Like there's so many things that could end up happening with this. And then at the same time, which is a little bit understandable, maybe instead of charging $18.50 to see an Oscar winning movie that no one wants to go see, they'll charge $10, $11, so more people will try to go see it. I don't know about you, Al, but that shit terrifies me, brother. Can you imagine price scalping for tickets?
I hear you, kid. It scares me too, but you know what it is? I can kind of see both avenues. And the part that scares me is they're not lowering the prices for those less popular movies. They're leaving those where they were. They were raising Batman. And if you do that down the line, to your point, are you going to then charge me more if I want that seat in the middle, not too far up, you know, so I can see the, you know, the perfect viewing angle and get you know, the perfect audio hitting me. So there is a domino effect that could definitely happen here in terms of what they choose to tack on those premiums for. You know, I can see where they're coming from, you know, because especially with something like Batman, you know, they still had to show other movies in other theaters, you know, like say it's a 7th theater showing a movie theater. You know, they can't put Batman in 5 of them. They have to show some of these other movies that are coming out. and Batman running at 3 hours, you're not going to get as many showings of the Batman. So the way they can make up for it is, you raise the price for each showing. But to your point, I don't like it, because imagine you're paying $20 to go watch a movie because it's considered the hot movie to go see, and it's not great. You end up not liking it. So now you paid a premium just because it was the hot movie, and it wasn't, anything better than you would have seen had you gone to a normal price movie. And some will tell you, well, that's the chance you take, and you're not guaranteed every movie is going to be good, but to raise the price just because it's a more popular movie, I don't know. I mean, again, I can see both sides. I can see the movie theater side and saying, yeah, but it's the most wanted to see movie. Most people are going to come watch this. Why shouldn't I charge more when demand is more? If I raise price, maybe the 90 million people that were going to come won't come, but I can now get the amount of people that I can accommodate coming in and still make a profit. So I can see their side, man. If the demand is that high, naturally prices will go up. And so I can see their side. It just sucks, like you said, that what's next? Is it going to be that specific seat, specific showings? Are they going to be able to raise it at the time of the showing and say, well, I know you bought it Tuesday at $17, but since you bought it, demand has gone up. So, you don't know what these guys are going to do once you give them their foot in the door of saying, well, let's try this, let's try that, let's do this. So, once you give them that's like the saying goes, their foot in the door, you don't know where they're going to go with it, what they're going to do, and what they're going to honor. So, yeah, I'm scared just like you in terms of where this is going to lead.
Yeah. I mean, it leads me back to one of my greatest lines a villain ever said was, when you're good at something, you never do it for free.
I just rewatched that this weekend. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
But again, it's like, if they were to come down their prices on the other movies, I can kind of understand a little bit because it's like, well, no one's really going to go see it because not too many people are interested. But if they say like a movie that's a period piece, that deals with just jealousy and anger or some kind of frustration, what I mean? So no cars, no explosions, no nothing, no, excitement besides the story. If you charge it a little bit less, it's not going to make me go see it more. You know what I mean? I might think about it in the theaters. I can see more people being like, oh, it's affordable, I can go see that movie, and they may go other people. But someone like myself, I'm going to go for the blockbusters all the time, all those, other movies. And if there's a big, like, if a lot of people review it and there's a lot of talk and people are like saying like, hey, you got to go check that movie out, it's insane. Yeah, I might go see it. But I don't know, man. Even a price structure for blockbuster movies, like I understand, I get it. These are the things that are bringing the people to the theaters. But it's just like, I don't know. My fear is that one day it'll be like Avengers 5 will have to be seen in like Nassau Coliseum. You know what I mean? Or there'll be no more theaters like that, right? Because if the theaters are just waiting for blockbuster movies, then what? You're just waiting till May, June, July to really make your money. Like, I don't know, man. I'm very fearful of it, and I hope that it's not going to get any worse than that. I hope that it's, $1.50 is not killing anybody, but at the same time, man, it's making it more expensive when you buy 4 or 5 tickets for a family.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
You got movies like Sonic 2 coming out.
Yeah, imagine
like doesn't feel right.
Yeah, if you have 2-3 kids plus yourself, your spouse, and and like you said, the majority of their money comes from concessions. If you're now making me pay it, and what might be the equivalent of an extra ticket just to get the same family members in, I may not be able to buy as much from the concession now as I used to, or the regular customer may not be able to spend. So, are you really, hurting yourself just to get those ticket prices, the sales, when you could have made more up from that at the concession stand? And don't even get me started on concession stand prices, but they're going to play the game. They're going to see what the numbers tell them they can do, what they can get away with.
Right.
And I think I'm not so sure, I'm not sure what the main motivation is. Is it the fear of how far are they away from people just streaming movies? Because look, even Batman, as great of a pull as it was to the theaters of bringing people in, it only has a 45-day window before it's on streaming. So
right. Yeah.
They had to make their money now. And I'm wondering how much of a motivation could that have been, the fact that they only have 45 days to make whatever they were going to make off of it before they figure a lot of these people may just stream it. So
that's true.
Get your money now. How much of that is playing into this decision. So who knows what these theaters are going to do to stay alive with the threat of streaming becoming more and more of a reality. I mean, even with the pandemic lessening and people being able to come out now, even without masks on, people still are afraid to come out. So, how I'm wondering how much of this is that, but if they lowered their prices, would they get more people coming, and willing to make the risk? If it wasn't $20 to go see a movie, if it was 13, 14, would more people come in? And, you hear that number and you're like, oh, it's only $6. It's not a lot. But like you said, you multiply that over a family of 4 or 5, that's a whole nother person that could have seen the movie, so.
Yeah, it adds up, man. And I think you hit it on the head there with the whole thing. Like, I can't believe the Batman comes out I think they said April 19th on HBO Max.
Yeah.
So someone like myself, I've seen it twice already. I'm not going to go to the theater to see it third time. I just wait till April. You know what I mean? Like,
like I was going to go see it a second time. And I said, you know what? I can wait till 45 days. I can wait till that. I can wait till that comes out on HBO, watch it on my TV. Yeah. And so, and that's what made me think, how much of this is that we're trying to recoup the profits while they can.
Yeah, it seems like it's all a little bit of a game here with the numbers, as far as, like you just said, the time it takes for it to get to the streaming angle, the money that they're making concession stands, and how much money they can bring in within a certain time frame, man. So all that stuff, plays into each other, man. And it's a weird circle, but this is the game that people play in sales. You always see that with pricing. Pricing always changes to see what can make the most money without interrupting the amount of people that buy it. It's just this weird game, man, for everything.
Yeah.
Man, capitalism.
I'm just surprised that AMC was the one. Well, I don't know how much I am or I'm not surprised that AMC was the one that pulled the trigger on that first.
Yeah.
I would have thought maybe one of these lesser franchises that were maybe struggling a little bit more, especially with the bullet that AMC dodged with their stocks and everything. AMC almost didn't make it through the pandemic with everything. If it wasn't for that stock situation that happened, they may have gone under. So for them to play these games with the fans that held through and stuck with them through everything, it's kind of to those fans, it's a little bit of a slap in the face, I would think, to say, oh, well, you know what, the movies you want to see the most, we're going to charge you more for those now. Thank you.
Yeah. Jerks. GameStop, you're on deck, GameStop. We hooked you up. Yeah, man. Just a crazy thing, man. Though something we'll keep our eye on. Hopefully this was just a one-time thing. Let's see what happens when Sonic and Doctor Strange come out this next couple of months here, and we'll see if they mess around with those prices again. Yeah. But let's talk about the good stuff, man. Let's talk about the reason why we started these podcasts, man, and that's the movies themselves. Yeah. And we got 2 good ones. I mean, in my opinion, 2 good ones. I haven't heard what you really think yet of those other 2. But this weekend, there wasn't movies that came out in the actual movie theaters, which is kind of crazy because these 2 movies were actually worth being watched in a movie theater.
Oh, yeah.
Pixar's Turning Red and the Adam Project with Ryan Reynolds there. I thought, honestly, Al, let's just do non-spoilers on both of them really quick. Okay. To be honest, bro, man, I loved both of these movies, man. I was connected with both movies emotionally and like they made me laugh. They made me tear up a couple of times. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm a big red panda punk right now. But I just honestly, like, if you are at home and you have access to Netflix or Disney Plus, these are just fine movies to watch, dude. With the family, by yourself, they're amazing to watch. They're really good quality movies. The Adam Project looked fantastic, dude. Yeah. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
And Pixar's Turning Red, oh my God. I mean, what did you, what I listen, it's not spoiler. You should see both of these movies. I'm not gonna say need. They definitely should see them. They're both really good movies. I wouldn't say great, but good movies. How about for yourself, Al? What did you think of those two movies?
Yeah, no, I mean, Turning Red had to grow on me. I'm glad I stuck with the movie. In the beginning, I don't know, I wasn't feeling it so much. But then as the story evolved, as the characters played out, I took to the diverse cast. I don't know if you can call it casting, but the characters,
right?
They didn't stay with one culture, even though there was one predominant culture throughout the movie. Right. I liked the way they touched on everything. Now, there seemed to be a theme that I think was supposed to be what the panda was alluding to, and they actually say it in the movie. So I'm not sure. Well, I guess when we talk about spoilers, we'll talk about that,
right?
Because I wasn't sure if that's what it was supposed to actually be. So I'll see if that's how you took it. But I like the way they played the character. You have the overbearing mother. Trying to control the daughter. You have the daughter out of loyalty trying to meet
please
those
mom
standards. And please mom. You have the aloof dad that seems to be there in the background, just trying to make it through the day. And then you have the friends, the friends that stood loyal, stood true. And then you have the goofy, guy at the school that's causing the trouble. So, I mean, it had touched on everything that people growing up and having gone through those stages of their childhood could relate to. I think at some point of our youth, we all went through that. And it was good watching that movie with the family because I was able to watch my daughter, watch it and have a kid. She kept calling it, "Oh, that's cringe," when something was too much of emotional or something. So it was just hysterical watching that, remembering going through that and watching my daughter react to it happening. So it was
that's awesome.
It was a great experience. And then Adam Project, great movie. Like you said, I could have seen this in a theater. Surprised that they put it straight to streaming, or at least not a dual release. Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds. I don't think he has a gripe with it being cast that way because he's that in every character, even though I think he has the chops to do more. He basically is Ryan Reynolds in the movie, and it worked. And the one who stood out to me in the movie was the little boy.
Yeah, he did his thing, man.
It says in the synopsis, the little boy is him, and this is him in different stages of life, working together to achieve a certain goal in the movie. But the kid did such a good job, impersonating certain little inflections
and
that
nuances.
Ryan Reynolds has, the way he speaks, his smart ass attitude. The kid did a good job. So I think we'll be seeing a lot more of whoever this little boy was.
I think his name was William Scoble or Max Scoble, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, man. He was incredible, man.
Yeah.
I love the Adam Project, man. I had a really good time watching that, man. It was just very sweet, funny, and like you said, that kid, man, he played Ryan Reynolds so good. And what's actually funny, though, was if you realize it, mom and dad also played a good Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, yeah.
So you can kind of see where he got that little snarky attitude and, that humor that he has, the specific type of humor that he has. You can see it right from mom and dad because they gave it right back to him in the beginning when he was younger.
Oh, yeah.
So it's pretty cool, man. Yeah. So, I mean, listen, I want to talk about these movies in depth. So that's the best we're going to give you guys. So look, you can see Al said he likes these two movies.
Yeah.
I like these two movies. I really think it's a good time to watch. So again, guys, if you don't want to leave the house, you're a rainy day, snowy day, windy day, cold day, you go ahead and put on Disney Plus with the kids and yourself and you have a good time, man. And pop some popcorn. Yeah, it's a good time.
Definitely.
All right. So listen, we're going to go into spoilers now. We're going to talk about the Adam Project first, and then we'll talk about Turning Red after. So here we go, man. Spoiler review on the Adam Project. Al, how pleasantly surprised were you, man, with this movie, man?
Not a lot. I mean,
right?
Yeah, especially given the cast that was there. I mean, you have Jennifer Gardner, Mark Ruffalo, Ryan Reynolds, Zoe Saldana. I mean, You just say that cast, you know you're going to get you're expecting a good movie. And I wouldn't say it was the most incredible movie, but it was a good movie. I mean, there's certain emotional threads that they definitely pull on, with the whole mother-son relationship, and the loss of a parent, and the repercussions and the effects that has on you if you don't deal with it the right way. I mean, there was so much going on in this movie other than just being a good sci-fi movie.
Yeah, man.
I mean, there were times where, you can feel the emotion of a scene. Like the one that first caught me, and I was surprised that it caught me like that, was when you saw Ryan Reynolds. He first came through the time loop, and he's sitting there watching Jennifer Gardner, who happens to be his mother. And, you see his reaction, you see him start to tear up and everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I felt myself reacting to it. And I was like, what the hell?
Dude, the conversation at the bar.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. How he didn't just come out and say who he was and who she was to him.
She realized it though, man. She saw the jacket and then she followed him outside the bar and was just like, wait a minute. She started calling out,
but
looking for the person. Yeah. And I was just like, oh my God, she knows.
Yeah.
She knows that's her son. It's so crazy. Yeah, man. I mean, that movie, there's a scene towards the end where after they do the whole mission of what they're supposed to be doing there, and it's like kind of like the last few moments that they have with their dad that they haven't, basically the story, the dad is pretty much dead in the future from a car accident. Mm-hmm. So they are going back in time to find their dad to talk about what he invented, which is some kind of algorithm that can lead to time travel. So they're talking to the dad, and the dad knows, he can kind of figure out that he died somehow, but he doesn't want to know. And he looks at Ryan Reynolds' character and he tells him, keeps mentioning how much he loves him, how much he thinks he's a great person, that he misses him. And dude, every time he kept saying more and more words, and Ryan Reynolds is like, shut up, you don't have to say that. And then he just goes in and hugs him. Ow, man, my lip did the I'm sitting there in my little freaking beanbag chair that's amazing that I got for Christmas, and my lip is going.
Yeah, they stretched that scene out a little bit longer, I would have had to have to use the bathroom right there.
No, dude, I felt my eyes start to well up. I got the tears in the eyes going, and I'm like, oh, they're getting me right now, dude.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying, and I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, no, because the dad was being a dick also.
Yeah.
He wasn't listening. He kept talking over the kids. Didn't want to hear about why they were there. He just, you're breaking the time continuum and the balance of this and then. They're like, shut up. Mm-hmm. There was even a point where I think Ryan Reynolds punched him in the face.
Yeah.
But I mean, I hate to say it for a Netflix movie, but for a Netflix movie, we had good writing, good effects, and just a good story, dude. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what else did you like about the movie?
No, like I said, they did a good balance because, you have him with, I don't know what that was supposed to be, but it looked like a combination. It looked like a baton, but it was a lightsaber, but it wasn't supposed to be a lightsaber. And
dude, that's a lightsaber.
It's a fucking lightsaber. So, kid, I mean, that's what I'm saying. And then you have the time travel, you have everything going on, the effects with how the people were, I guess, were evaporating or dissolving or something when they got. Everything about that, the special effects, like you said, the acting, the script wasn't, wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good. The story was good. I like the reference. They make fun of the MCU because when the little kid makes the comment, it was like, "Oh, is it a multiverse?" He goes, "Oh, we let you watch way too many movies." Okay, that's what I was. It was so good because it wasn't too heavy-handed with anything. Like, it wasn't cheesy, it wasn't campy. They just went with everything and they did it. I won't say self-aware, but they didn't go over the top. and again, I have to keep going back to that emotional pull. Like there was so much stuff that, like to the point, like when you had the young Adam talking to the older Adam, and you have the older Adam hating the father because he was never there and he didn't love the son and this and that, and the son is, and the younger Adam is like, what do you remember? Dad came home, no matter how tired he was, he played catch with me and this and that. And there was so much balance between the action and the excitement and the special effects with just simple dialogue like that of what it meant to be a family and so forth. Yeah. Kid, I want to watch that movie again just because of that.
Yeah, man. And there was a lot of little lines and subtle lines. Like, I remember there was one scene where the little kid went to the older Adam, which Ryan Reynolds' character, he goes, "Did I trade in my brain for muscles?"
When does this happen? He goes, "Do I get laid?"
He goes, "Let me get this straight. You just found out that there's time travel. And what you want to know is if we get laid in college."
He goes, "So do we?" Oh, kid,
that was awesome, man. And even like you said, the kid in the movie kind of stole it too, man. I mean, he was just perfect. I mean, you could see him being Ryan Reynolds when he grows up. It's just the way, like you said, the mannerisms, the inflections of the voice, and just the rhythm of the jokes. It was Ryan Reynolds there, man. Yeah. And another cool part that I really liked was the Zoe Saldana part. That whole love story angle part where she got sent a little bit further back in time, and then she waited for him to come to that time period. I mean, that's just, it was amazing, man. Yeah. And then seeing that, she knew that in order for them to succeed, she would have to either lose him and hope that they find each other again, or it won't work at all. So it was just like, wow, this is deep, man. Some good stuff in there, man. It's just really good movie, man. Because, when I think about sci-fi movies, there haven't been really a lot of good sci-fi. Even like Matrix, I expected Matrix to be fantastic or even better than what it was. And look at this simple story. They didn't go too deep into the time travel, because that's when you can like lose yourself and make yourself sound stupid if you're trying to too hard with the time travel. Because even in this one, it's like, so wait a minute, if he did this, then how does he not know he did that? It gets a little too crazy. So they're just like, don't think about it. It's time travel. And the one thing that I did notice that was pretty bad was the CGI on the villain.
Oh yeah.
The younger version of herself. Yeah, that was pretty bad. But I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it was definitely noticeable. Yeah. I guess the whole ending was kind of a little crazy, but it worked. The whole thing about stopping, basically the people who made the Terminator. What was the name of the group? What was the name of the company? Skynet.
Skynet. Yeah.
It looked like kind of like a form of Skynet. And I was just like, what is all this, man? But it worked, man. And again, I love the whole Mark Ruffalo aspect of it as being their father. Very cool. The gadgets are cool. Everything, man. I mean, listen, I couldn't recommend this movie anymore. That you guys need to see. I want to say need to see Adam Project, man. Because now it's even talking about it with you right now, I'm like, I want to see this again.
Yeah. What made me laugh was my wife and my stepdaughter. They were big fans of a movie, 13 Going on 30.
Right. Now,
I'd never seen this movie, but apparently Jennifer Gardner and Mark Ruffalo play love interests in that movie. So they were like, is this a sequel? So it's like, that's what I'm saying. For a movie that it seems like a one-off, because I don't know if there's like an anticipation for a sequel on this, but it touched on so many different things, on different, like I said, it didn't go too heavy onto the sci-fi. It didn't go too heavy on one side. It just gave a simple, good story and balanced it with some nice effects. So it was very satisfying in that point. From that standpoint. Absolutely,
man. Gives me, every time Netflix does it, they'll put like 6 bad movies and then one good one. I'm like, oh, they're back. Now I want to give Texas Chainsaw Massacre a shot.
Oh God, no, I didn't even put that in my queue.
I know, it looks so bad, dude.
Gee, kid, when they showed the guy with the skin mat, I was like, nah, come on.
No, you're done.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Oh man. And then let's talk about this last one, man. And it's a Pixar movie. Pixar being known for their stories, their animation, and just overall great quality of their movies that they make there, man. And to be honest, man, I mean, the last Pixar movie I saw was either Soul or Luca. I think Soul was the last one that came out, but I saw both and I enjoyed both. I really enjoyed Soul. Luca was really cute. So I didn't know what to expect with Pixar's Turning Red here. I was like, a red panda? Toronto? Let's see what's up, man. Let's give it a shot there. So I'm sitting there watching this movie with the wife last night. And dude, I found myself laughing from the beginning when she's dancing to the titles of the movie, Walt Disney Presents, and she's doing all these dancing, and she's like, I thought it was really good, man. I mean, the whole thing about growing up and wanting to please your parents and also wanting to be yourself. It's just a good story. And I think something that a lot of us can relate to, even I was telling my wife, my parents, well, especially my mom was the one who was like, you're going to be a lawyer who plays the violin. Yeah. I played the trombone. And I'm a practice manager. So like, it's just crazy. But at the same time, it's like, I remember that. And I remember trying to do that and be that because I was just like, that's what's going to make my parents happy. Mm-hmm. So I kind of understood the character. I was like, wow, this is kind of like understandable. But then I thought it might make more into my wife. Maybe my wife had like similar situations with mom growing up. Maybe mom wanted her to do certain things or be a certain way. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, also, you could see that I think what you were alluding to in the first part was like, was this story really just about her getting her period?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I was like, because they actually say it.
Yeah, was this story about that, or was it about her just growing up and being her own individual self? So I kind of got lost between the two, but at some point I was just like, I don't care. This shit is awesome, man. Yeah. Like, dude, like, even though it's a cartoon movie, there's a scene in there where the mom thinks it's all about her having her period, and she brings pads to the school. It's like, you forgot your pads in front of the class, and she goes, no. Dude, I was closing my eyes. I'm like, I can't believe she did that.
Oh my god, yeah, because you can see yourself as one of the other kids going like dying. Oh, forget it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it touched. I thought it was about that, like, because like she turns into this big red panda whenever she gets too emotional or excited. Yeah, I'm like, is that supposed to be her being like hormonal when she gets her period? Like I thought, like, even though they outright said, "Oh, did you get your period?" and she's like, "No, mom, it's not that." Like, I'm like, yeah, this seems to. I mean, red, and out of control. Like, I was like, is this supposed to be some kind of a? So I didn't know. I didn't know.
Like me when I was. It's like me when I was watching Luke. I'm like, is this story about being gay? Yeah. It's like, they're like, no, it's not that. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Luca and Alberto is gay, but I'm like, I'm cool with the story. I'm cool with the story. Just admit it. Yeah. I don't like when they are trying to do that and imply something, and then they say, no, no, it's not that. No, it's just a story about a kid that turns into a panda. Okay. But the movie was my daughter loved it from the beginning. That's awesome, man.
She loved it. She had a great time. She there's a scene at the end during the big battle with the mom, and she's dying. You have the daughter backing it up to the mom, like, to distract her. She's like, what are you doing? Stop grinding. Gyrating. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, I miss movies like this, though, like, where you can bring the whole family of different generations and everybody finds something in that movie to attach to, relate to, and enjoy. Yeah. I wish there was more of these movies coming out as opposed to just always catering to one type and one genre. But it was a good. I mean, the animations weren't out of control. I think they did a good job of balancing it out. Like, the characters were very simple, but when they had to, there were scenes with very detailed animation done, and I think they did a real good job.
You know what's kind of funny? I think I kind of noticed, like, I don't know if you watch a lot of anime like Brandon does. Brandon watches a lot of anime.
Yeah,
I think Sanj a little bit. I don't really watch anime at all, but I do see videos here and there of it. And I felt like a lot of those scenes had that, like when they kind of focused in on the character, everything would get dark behind them or bright light behind them for like something intense. Okay. And I was like, oh, this is very like kind of like anime where like, that you would watch on those anime videos and movies and stuff like that. I was like, oh, this is kind of crazy. It wasn't just strictly the, what you're watching. It was always like this like intense anime added on to the animation that they were doing. I thought it was pretty cool. It was interesting. Yeah. I love the red panda though, man. Like, like, you see the commercial where like she's in the bathroom and she's trying to like to hide that she's a panda, and the girl comes out of the bathroom stall and she goes, oh my, and then the red panda just pushes her head back. Right back into the bathroom.
Yeah, no, but I said before, I like the diversity. I like the way they had the friends weren't all uniform. It was a good group of a different cultures coming together, just being friends. Yeah, and then the bond that they all had. Like you didn't, even when she sided with the mom because she wanted to make the mom happy, and she kind of like turned on them.
She turned on her
they
friends,
still were friends, and
of course, brother, it's Four Town for life, brother. Four Town for life.
Was that Backstreet Boys?
I had to be.
I wasn't sure if it was Backstreet Boys or what's the other one that Timberlake came from.
Oh, the NSYNC?
Yeah, the NSYNC, yeah. But it was that movie was funny. Watching them go back and forth, like I said, watching the mom be like overbearing, the embarrassment that girl would have gone through when she found the drawings and ran into the store. Oh, kid, and showed the drawings.
Dude, it's funny. I don't want to admit this, but I think there's been times where, moms didn't want to believe that it was me doing some of those things, and putting the blame on Ola and Surafel sometimes, or somebody else, somebody getting the brunt for what Javier did. But
I would have had to move. I would have gone home and been like, Mom, we're moving now. Like, I'm not going to school Monday. There's no way.
Oh my God. How funny when she was just like, I can't believe you would do that. You let your mom down. She's just like, we have to move. Oh my God. You know how, and the other funny thing was like the Tyler birthday party.
Yeah.
He was going to give her the $200 that she needed, or 100 plus then some. Mm-hmm. And the party was, I heard clap, 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 clap your hands. I was like, ooh. Playing that,
but nobody was doing anything. They were just standing there. It was like that average, the generic teenage party where everybody's staying. All the boys are here, girls are there,
and the boys and girls were separate, right? Just like I can close my eyes and picture those parties where all the boys were on one side, all the girls were on the other side, and no one did anything until like somehow, some way, the party got started. Yeah, and it's just so funny to see that.
For 2 hours, you're talking about how you're gonna go over and ask the girl to dance.
Don't do nothing. Yeah, man, but it's an overall good like coming of age story. Like it was just really good, man. The music was good, the jokes were funny, and dude, like like you said, the dad was kind of put to the background a little bit there, but dad came in at the end and was just like, I like the crazy you, or the funny side of you. I think is very funny or something. And I was just like, oh, come on, Dad. There you go, Dad. But the fact that Mom turned into a giant monster panda. She was huge. And she goes, you said big. He's like, yeah, not that big.
Kid. And that's what I'm saying. And then you have the aunts turn too. Like they all broke their pandas and broke. Kid.
It turned into the Avengers at the end of there.
Yeah, kid. That's what I'm like. All right, yeah, you're talking about period. I don't care what you say.
You know what was real too? Like, we all have aunts and uncles and stuff like that, but like aunts are some other shit sometimes. And when the aunts and the grandma finally came to the temple, you could hear in the background them talking shit. Like, oh, I didn't think she could handle it by herself. Oh yeah, she sure looks fat. Oh, she looks skinny. And then one's feeding her, the other one's talking shit. And like, dude, that's my family right there, dude. Like, you can't get them to agree, but they all are talking shit.
Yep.
And then I realized, like, yo, dude, that's not just my family.
That's family.
Everybody's family, man.
It's different subjects. It's different things that they pick on, or that, you know, is the focus, but they all do it. Everybody's family, man. It doesn't matter what culture, background, heritage you have. Like, there's something that as a family that's going to happen about. And kid. And it's different. The meat of it is different, but overall, we're all the same. You know, we all go through the same things, same interactions, same experiences, different triggers, but it's all the same, man.
Absolutely, man. So, I mean, listen, another one where I almost want to say you need to see it, but it's a should see. You really should see it because it is good, but it's not great. I don't know what it's missing. It's missing something, but it's not the Batman, you know? You know, the Batman was great.
Yeah,
this was good. This is really good. Really good. It was a really good time, man. I'm looking forward to seeing more movies, more shows on Disney Plus and Netflix because of these two movies. So I'm willing to give things a shot now.
Yeah.
I'm not just watching Love is Blind season 2 now.
Okay, now with us, it's been, my wife just finished up the Ozark.
I heard that's pretty great, man.
Okay, it's crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you thought Jason Bateman was good before, you watched this show.
Well, okay. Yeah, he's a good actor, man. I like Bateman, man. He's really good.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man. And listen, man, if you guys are listening to us out there, man, if you're most likely movie fans like we are, if you're listening to this podcast, I don't know if you guys know, but we know because we bought tickets already. Sonic 2 and also Morbius tickets went on sale this morning. This is Monday, March 14th. So go ahead, go to either your AMC app, your Regal app, your Showcase app, or whatever movie theater you go to. Get your tickets. Those tickets just came out this morning. Yeah. Al, I picked up the Morbius tickets, but I figured Sonic 2, we're going to have to do with the kids. So I don't know. So definitely, man, guys, be on the lookout for that, man. And listen, that's going to be us for this week. Next week, we're going to come back for our 3-year anniversary, man. March 17th marks 3 years of the Real Fan Review. Al, man, anything good about 3 years with the Real Fan Review, brother?
Just sharing these moments and growing, you know, as we did these shows, getting comfortable, more and more comfortable, you know, getting on these platforms. Before it was just the podcast. Now, then, you know, the pandemic, even though we had been talking about it for a while, the pandemic helped us jumpstart getting onto this YouTube platform and getting videos out. And just, you know, like you always say, you know, we would have been doing this anyway, going to the movies, watching them, talking about them, analyzing them, breaking them down. What did we think about this and that? So, you know, just doing this and doing what we always would have been doing, always were doing, it's just been a great experience, man.
Yeah, man, absolutely, man. I think the next thing that we're going to probably gotta try to get into is probably do a Facebook Live while we're doing our podcast. Yeah. So that way people get an opportunity to ask questions or see us live while we're doing the recordings and stuff like that. So that might be up next in a couple of months or so, and maybe weeks, who knows, but definitely something to look forward to. So if you're not on us, following us on Facebook, look for us as the Real Fan Review, REEL, Real Fan Review on Facebook. Or if you want to send us a message, therealfanreview@gmail.com. You can send us a question, a request, something you want us to hear us talk about, or maybe our opinion. Feel free to send that on through. And again, as always, guys, hit the subscribe button on your YouTube page. You can find us on the Real Fan Review podcast. That's going to be on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all those things, man. So find us over there. So listen, coming out of Long Island, New York, we got our man in the chair, Al.
Have a good night, everybody.
And myself, Hav, saying thank you again to guys. So please, on your podcast playlist, hit that plus symbol so we can come up for you guys every week. We had 50-something downloads last week for our podcast for the Batman review. Nice. It was amazing. You know, we're getting a lot of subscribers on YouTube, so hit the subscribe button on YouTube so you can see us or hear us, your choice. We'll leave it up to you, and we'll catch you on the next podcast. Until next time.